views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
This is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. Today's special guest at our home studio is... People, what is your name, sir?
Carl Lyvers.
Carl Lyvers.
Pleased.
And
Bob Downing.
Bob Downing, you're the one that is speaking to. And this is Stuart
Hatfield.
Hatfield. So, we are here, finally. We are interviewing these three lot about the drums, Fort Wayne Pipes and Drums. Is that what you're from?
It's Fort Wayne Scottish Pipes and Drums.
Scottish
Our name.
Pipes and Drums.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I stand corrected. So, who started it?
It was a gentleman by the name of Frank Alderson who decided after the band he was in, which was a shrine band, would not allow his wife to join the band. So he decided, okay, fine, I'll start my own band. And so that's what he did. He placed a notification in the newspaper that he wanted to start
Is it here?
a band, yeah.
Which one is it then?
It would be this one.
Yeah, I will show that as we talk.
That was back in 1986 that Frank started that.
Yeah.
And so Bob and I are the only two remaining members of that era.
Oh, shoot, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Others have moved on and passed on, some of
Oh,
them.
I'm sorry.
Well, the other thing about Frank was he was really interested in doing competition, like competing at the Highland Games and stuff.
Right.
And the Shriners wanted no part of that. Absolutely not. They were dead set against it. They were strictly a street band, do parades, that sort of stuff. So Frank figured out again that the only way he could, number one, get his wife into a band
Right.
and have the band compete was to start his own band.
Sounds
And
good.
that's basically what he did. He actually, I didn't see that newspaper. He actually called me on the telephone. He had gotten my name from a mutual friend, and knowing that I was interested in that kind of stuff, I enjoyed bagpipe music and kind of wanted to learn to play. And he told me what he was doing, wanted to know if I'd be interested in doing it. And he was teaching. I said, yeah, absolutely. So Carl and I showed up, and he told us to play, and here we are.
Who taught you the wee pipes?
Frank,
Frank taught us.
Frank.
he was the pipe major and he nursed us all along. And the process is you start with this little device, which is not a song flute, although it looks like a song flute.
It's a
And
practice, right?
It's a practice chanter, yes, and this would be the first step. And you learn all the fingerings for each of the notes on
I'm
the
a
scale.
recorder.
Yeah.
And you learn to play basic songs on it. You learn what they call grace notes, which add a little bit of flavor to the tunes, okay? And then you start with this and you learn all of that, and you become proficient at that.
Right.
Then you acquire a set of pipes,
Right,
which has a chanter on it, like this,
right.
but it also has the 3 drones, 2 tenor drones and a bass drone, okay? And you start by leaving all 3 of those plugged, and then playing on, learning to blow properly on the bag.
How do you blow it up first?
Well, you just blow in the blowpipe.
Oh, my stars.
Yeah.
You mean you have to do it by mouth?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
See,
there's-
that's one big difference between this. All you gotta do with this thing.
Oh, lovely.
And
That's what
that
some
didn't take much.
cats
That
are
didn't
like.
take much energy to do that.
No.
Or
I
air.
wasn't blowing all that hard.
Oh, Oh, love it, love it.
And that's what you learn on. Now, when you get on that thing,
But when you
It's-
get on the
it's
wee pipes,
big difference.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
because
terrible.
for one thing, you're not blowing right into the part that's making the sound. All you're doing with your mouth is putting air in the bag. So in order to get a sound out of it, you inflate the bag and you continue to blow and you keep squeezing, and that forces air through here, through here, through here, and through here. So,
what's this made of?
and there's a little valve in there that keeps the air from blowing back
Oh,
once you blow in.
I don't want it back in my lungs.
That would not be good.
Well, I don't think
You
it's
could
like that.
technically use your tongue to do that, but that's just an extra complication that we don't need. It's hard enough as it is without having to do that.
The wee bag, was it made out of goat skin in the
It
beginning?
used to be made out of animal hides. Today they're synthetic. Most people play synthetic bags, Gore-Tex
Gore-Tex, all
or
the
some
fun.
variation of it. And those are so much easier to manage because they last forever. There's not a lot of maintenance involved with them.
Because
I think you're still playing the leather bag.
I have a leather bag. You have to do what they call seasoning, which is
yeah, oil it.
like an oily substance that you put down in there, and then you stretch it all over the leather.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do that, otherwise it will get very
Crack.
hard and leak. So you don't want that. So you have to keep it seasoned.
Yeah.
And then every year or so, then you would season that bag if you're using a
You
leather bag.
definitely don't want to leak because
Leaks are
you want
bad.
the air to only go where it's supposed to go. If it goes
Right.
somewhere else, you've got real problems.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
a wee bit.
So you start with the chanter, and then you learn to blow on the bag,
Right?
and using that chanter, which is a little larger, as you
basic
can
one.
see.
Is that the
And all
basic
three
one?
of these drones are corked with a rubber cork. And then one by one, you uncork them. And when you uncork one,
It comes out.
it's a disaster. Because now all of a sudden, you have to relearn how to blow again, because this is consuming a much more air than when it was plugged. So then you get better at that, and you develop that.
How long? does
Then
it
you
take?
unplug the second one,
Right.
and you're right back to square zero. Because now you're totally demoralized because it's like, I'm never going to learn how to play
And then the
this.
top one.
And then eventually the top one, again, back to being demoralized because it's like, I can't breathe.
Well, how long does it take to get that
Well, typically, for
Right.
learning,
ready?
It depends how old you are.
I would say anywhere from 8 or 9 months to a year
To grow
Yeah.
into
before
that?
you can really
learn.
play.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
to get from the starting the
From here to
chanter
there.
to being able to play the
To
pipes.
completely be able
So
to
who's
play
the
this.
teacher in this bunch?
I'm currently doing most of the teaching. We have another fella who's teaching a few of the younger students that we have.
Yeah.
We have right now about 8 active students, and some others who have kind of on the fringes, kind of come and go. So
That should be interesting, seeing fringes come and go.
yeah. But most of our new students are fairly young.
Right?
We have
You got the lungs for it, man.
well, some of them need to develop them yet, but we have a number of a few teenagers, a number of little kids, fella around 30, and another fella around 40 some. But most of the new ones are teenager or younger, which is
Yeah.
exciting.
Small lungs you have to develop them
Yeah.
from the diaphragm, you might say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Uh,
go.
We're hoping to have 3 or 4 of the students joining the band this year, maybe even competing with us this year. We only do one competition now. We're not like the original band that competed how many 10 times
Oh,
a
we
year?
went everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that was one of the objectives of our founder, Frank. He wanted to do competition.
Right.
And so we joined the Midwest Pipe Band Association, which sponsors all these different competitions at the various Highland Games throughout. And the way that works is it's divided into different segments, grade levels, I'm trying to say. Grade 1, those are the really, really good ones. These are the world-class pipers that go to Scotland every year to play for the World Championships. I mean, these are just unbelievable how well they can play. I've heard a couple of grade 1 bands play, and it just blows me away. So it goes from grade 1 down to grade 5. So when you compete, you compete in your own grade. So you're not competing against these world-class bands.
right.
You know, you wouldn't have a chance against them. But at grade 5, we're competing, and that's where we are. we're competing against bands kind of at our level. So it's a lot more fair that way. Well, the first year, Frank was determined that we were really going to compete and we were going to do it well. The way it works is when you play in a competition, there's 4 judges and you get judged, and there's a point system that they judge it on. Whoever gets the most points that day wins. You also get points with the association for where you place. So many points for first place, so many points for second place, so many points, and so on. It's kind of like NASCAR, where you don't have to win every race to be the champion. You just got to have more points at the end of the season. It works the same way with the bagpipe competitions. So if you can play a whole lot of different competitions and do fairly well, you don't have to win, but do fairly well and accumulate points. You may never have won a competition, but at the end of the season, you got more points than anybody. You're now the champion in that division. So Frank was going to figure out how to do that. So one of the things he said, okay, we're going to go everywhere we can possibly go. Almost every weekend we were going somewhere. We Chicago to Kentucky, Ohio, Illinois, all over
How
the
many
place.
years all told you guys have been together?
Yeah,
Since 1986.
1986?
almost 40 years.
For heaven's
So
sake.
anyway, this was our first year of full-blown competition. Again, the theory was, okay, we'll play our best. We'll do pretty well. We'll get a bunch of points. We were undefeated. We won every competition we entered,
Good show.
and that was great. Of course, obviously, we were champion supreme that year of all the bike bands in the Midwest in that grade. And then we decided, okay, we've won this grade. We've been really well. We'll move up to grade 4. After our 1 or 2 grade 4 competitions, we said, well, I think we made a big mistake.
Okay.
This is a lot harder than we thought it was going to be. We're out of our ball game here. We better go back to grade 5 where we belong. So we've been there ever since. And
It's like a degree in martial arts.
yeah, it's like a lot of athletic competitions are that way.
What would you be? First level black
Yeah.
Probably not.
martial arts?
We don't have different colored belts for like the judo people, but yeah.
The kilt. What clan is that?
This is Clan Mackay.
Modern Mackay.
Spelled M-A-K-A-Y. It's pronounced Mackay in
Right.
Scots.
Is that the
Well, the way that
Yes.
happened was our lead drummer, Dale McKee. Dale is a veterinarian here in town. I think maybe he's retired now. He was our lead drummer, and he was related to the Clan Mackay. It was his clan. And he decided, hey, we'll wear the Clan Mackay tartan, and everybody looked at it, well, that looks pretty nice. Why not? So that's what we did.
the Black Watch? They were the Campbell, don't they?
The camel. Black Watch.
This is very close to Black Watch.
Yeah, a
If
lot
you
of
were-
people think this
If
is
you were to
Black
compare
Watch.
this to
That's
Black
why I
Watch,
asked.
it's
You
pretty
wasn't
close.
sure.
Yeah.
It's very similar, but it's not quite.
Thank
There's
God.
some subtle difference.
Mackay has a little more blue in it.
And
I shouldn't do
we
that.
wore different uniforms today. It was my idea. I was hoping to be kind of a fun thing and also kind of display some of the different ways we dress.
Yeah, the clans and-
This is for the Johnny Appleseed Festival mainly.
Is it really?
Jacobite shirt.
When did you start working there, doing the
From
thing?
the very start, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
been
Pretty
playing there.
much.
We've been
Yeah.
playing there for years and years.
Yeah, long before my time.
And we'll be playing there again this year, so,
I didn't know.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're going to be playing at the RiverDrums.
we'll be out there both,
Yeah.
we'll be out there both days at Appleseeds.
Yeah. So yeah, if you see people dressed like this, that's
That's
playing
us.
pipes. That's us.
That's us.
Aye.
And in our blue casual uniform, which you do wear for parades and things like that. A lot.
They're a parade uniform.
Yeah.
Are you?
Bob's
This is the more
dressed more
formal.
formally for.
If you wanna play weddings or funerals or stuff
I
like
would have
that.
wearing green, but I couldn't find a green dress somewhere. So I did the best thing,
That's
eh?
okay. Not a problem. There's red tartans also,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Clan Donald, I guess the dress would have red in it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's kinda where we are with that, yeah.
So what are you going to be doing? June the 6th.
In 6. What will we be doing?
Mm,
We'll be
do you
playing
know?
RiverDrums.
RiverDrums.
There you go, yep.
Festival or whatever you.
It's an event or
Event.
festival. I don't know.
RiverDrums
what it's
event
called.
in
Yeah,
Fort
we-
Wayne, Promenade Park.
You're
Yeah,
going to be leading.
Yeah, we played that last year.
Yes, we'll be leading the.
The opening.
Yeah, we're gonna play. Yeah, we're gonna play leading the crowd, I guess, down to the
Yes.
stage, and then
We'll do a
we're
little
gonna
performance.
a little performance after. We got a little break in between, a
20
little performance.
minutes. We all have
Yeah,
20
last year we
minutes.
did it, and the night we were doing it, this was in the middle of the summer, it was about 95 degrees out,
Absolutely.
and it was absolutely brutal. Now, these things are pure wool, and it's heavy wool.
So that.
And you have to wear something over, like some
with sash.
braids.
No,
No,
no.
no. So anyway, it was just brutally hot, and I was really concerned. I would make sure I brought plenty of water for us and this, that, and the other thing. But we got fortunate in that apparently whoever was running the show that time felt sorry for us and let us play indoors
Oh,
where it was air conditioned.
My boss, Terrence Doran.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's.
And they said, would you guys mind playing indoors?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Don't have to ask twice.
So that worked out real well for us. We really enjoyed playing for you guys last year.
Yeah, boy, especially the drums. Oh my stars! How can you lift that thing so heavy? I know he's got an anchor there, but does he have it around his waist as well?
I don't think so, does it?
No, it's
No,
just
the
a
bass drum.
Bass drum.
plate that comes down here and then the drum mounts to that
Do you
plate.
have one of those things that are
No.
it's Irish?
No, Irish.
Forget it.
Last year, if I remember right, our bass drummer was Max for that event.
Yeah, it
And
actually.
that's all we had, I believe, was a bass drum.
Yeah.
And he's actually one of our pipers. He started out in the drum section.
Yeah, he can play both. He goes both ways. It's wonderful.
He plays snare drums, plays bass if we need him to.
Very good musician too.
Yeah,
He's,
very
he's
helpful.
very good on
You all
on
have
any
to
instrument.
be.
Yeah.
I'm talking American. Y'all. Anyways, the Highland Games.
Yeah.
Are they still about here?
Not here.
Not
no,
here.
No. We did that for a number of years. In fact, I was director of the pipe band competition for several years. In one couple of years, I was the overall director. We basically we ran out of money
Oh, I
and we
have.
ran out of volunteers.
Yeah.
It's a very, very expensive to put on a Highland game. Give you an example. Just liability insurance for one day. Liability insurance, the premium is $1,000 for one day. And you got to do it. You can't not do it. It's crazy not to have liability insurance for something like that. So that's just part of it. Well, then you got to have if you're having contests like we had band competition, we had athletic competitions, and so forth. And you got to bring in judges. Normally they come in from out of town, so you got to pay their transportation. You got to pay them a fee. You got to pay their per diem and all that stuff.
How do you?
It just piles up.
Do you have to have fundraisers or?
Well, that was another problem that we ran into. You've really got to have sponsorship. It's absolutely essential that you have sponsorship. And we didn't really have anybody in our group that really knew how to do that, so we didn't have much of it. You can't make it at the gate. You just can't charge enough to get in, or nobody would be able to come in, to cover everything. So we finally ran out of money, and it's a lot of volunteer work. It's very labor intensive. Lots of things you got to do. People got to be there and do stuff. And
Make sure they come.
and there was, that's a problem, because everybody in the groups, the Scottish Society, oh yeah, we want to have the Highland Games, we want the Highland Games. Okay, well, can you come out and help us? Can you come out and take tickets? Oh, I heard every excuse in the world for why they couldn't do it. And there was a small group of us that were doing everything. And we finally said,
That sounds
"Just enough,
familiar.
enough's enough, we're done, we're done.
That went about 20 years. Right?
Yes, about
So how
20
many
years ago.
people are in your band now?
Counting students, we have about 18. I'm hoping for possibly 13 pipers for some of our
Oh,
events this
lucky
year.
13.
And then we have about five or six drummers. So yeah,
So the small drums are the.
we have that'd be the tenor drum. We have basically one person who plays a tenor drum. And he plays, I don't remember how he phrases it, he actually hits the drum, he doesn't do the
He's a,
Oh,
I think a
track.
rhythm tenor.
rhythm
I
tenor,
like,
okay.
I like the rhythm of that.
And then there's the twirling stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't do the twirling stuff.
Oh,
He just
man.
he actually plays the
I
drum.
mean, actually working on it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have three snare drums and bass drummer. Actually, our bass drummer right now is a big fellow that can handle that big drum. And he started out playing the snare, but we kind of pressed him into service on the bass, and he's been happy to do it. So he's learning that right now.
Yeah, what do you all do when you're not doing the pipes and drums?
A lot of us are retired.
Yeah.
I'm retired.
Yeah, I'm retired.
I worked
I'm
at Parkview
retired
for
too.
years.
Yeah, one of our drum sergeant's a lawyer. I work in a factory. Another piper works in a factory. I think Max works at the insurance company.
Yeah.
So we got a few different.
Do you have any police officers in the pipe?
Not in our band.
Not in our band. The police department has a pipe band.
Yes, I know, I heard.
And we sometimes, in the past, we've played with them and coordinated and played together, which is kind of neat to join up and have a play together.
So, what will you, besides June the 6th, from 4:30 to 10:30, June 6th at the Promenade Park, Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's where our RiverDrums 2023 will be held. When you do our gig, do you have about how many songs?
I one time counted, we've got in our repertoire over 70 tunes that we can play.
In 20 minutes?
No.
Well,
You can't get them all in 20 minutes. But
That would not go well.
Well, the other thing is, on a bagpipe, we only have 9 notes. That's all we got, 9 notes. One octave, no sharps and flats. Low A to high A, high G below. No,
low G to high A.
low G to high A. 9 notes, that's all there is.
Dang.
And just those 9 notes, we can play over 70 different tunes.
Dang.
And when
That's cool.
we perform by memory. We don't have any
Yeah,
sheet music in front of us.
There is
Sometimes we don't remember as well as we should.
Hello. Well, we won't know.
That's our hope.
Yeah, you will not see us playing in public with sheet music. We have it. We have sheet music.
Yeah, we learn what sheet
Yeah.
music.
And when we're learning tunes, that's what we have it in front of us today. But once we learn it,
Start with this. We
Right.
don't learn a tune on the pipes.
Right.
Learn a tune on this. And
Oh,
then you can-
yeah.
and you get
I have
comfortable
some
there, and then you go in the pipe. Yeah.
I have some flutes and stuff.
So,
Recorder and then one from Peru. Flight.
Flute.
Pan pipe.
Panpipe. Oh, nice.
oh
That
yeah.
is hard to say.
Very hard to
Anyways,
play too.
are you going to be doing anything in the future then? This year or whenever?
As far as events, oh yeah, we generally have about 12 to 15 events
Yeah.
every year. We added a new one this year up in Saline, Michigan. It'll be exciting to go to. It's a Celtic festival up there,
Count?
up near Ann Arbor. So we've been trying to get in there for the last few years, and because of COVID and other and financial restrictions, it's our first time to go up there. So
COVID really kind of
Sounds
hurt.
good.
That we had that was a lot of the Highland festivals had to cancel during COVID, and some of them never got going again.
yeah,
Sure.
a lot of them dropped the competition because of the expense,
And
because they lost,
Yeah.
they lost a couple of years of income.
But this year we'll be going to Detroit to play the Highland Festival up there. That will be a competition for us. The only competition we will do this year.
I will miss. I used to go to the Highland Games when we first moved here.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Yeah,
We did that for quite a while, but like I said, we finally just couldn't keep it going.
So
And it was unfortunate. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I enjoyed working with them, but finally just didn't work out. So anyway, we're going to go to Detroit. We're going to go probably down to Columbus, Indiana. And that used to be a competition. And again, during COVID, they shut down.
right.
And now they're back in business, but they've decided not to do competition. It'll be kind
Too
of like
many
Appleseed.
people together. You mean?
It'll be kind of like Appleseed, where we just walk around the grounds at certain times and play.
Appleseed. Johnny Appleseed.
yeah.
How many more minutes?
About 4.
Okay. Let's talk about Johnny Appleseed.
Okay.
What you doing? Where in the park, in the area where you have that, will you be?
Carl?
Typically, we're on the west end of the park. Okay, is where we camp.
Oh,
Okay, where the flea market is, we're usually on the south edge of that. That's our encampment. And when we play, we'll branch out from there and usually march throughout
I've seen
the festivities.
I have seen
So we'll do that. We'll march down by the river and then back around, and we try to coordinate everything so we're not in conflict with another entertainer, because there's nothing more distracting than a pipe band wandering through.
Walk by somewhere, man, holy man.
So, you know, and this, oddly enough, the sound of the pipes don't carry as far as you would think.
But
They do
so.
carry far, but
Right.
not as far as you think. Because I've had friends say, you know, well, where were you? And I go, I was there.
I would.
There, you know, but they were on the other end of the park, so, you know, they're not gonna see us. But we'll do that like 2 or 3 times during the day. And then we'll take a little break and then to rest back up, get our lungs back in good shape. And then we'll go back on out and then we just tour through the
So you got to have
the festival.
legs now.
Yeah.
Well, you also
Right.
at the midday, we combine with the fife and drum band that's out there. And we have what we call a mass band thing, where we play together. And that's kind of interesting because we absolutely overwhelm them, and we're way louder than they are. But we
you
try to
can
work it out
along-
so we can get something going there, and we do that too at Appleseed. So we'll be there both days this year.
Saturday and Sunday. It's fun. We enjoy it.
Yeah.
We enjoy it.
So we will see everyone here at RiverDrums. It's going to be June the 6th
Right.
at downtown at the Promenade Park, Fort Wayne, Indiana. I would like to thank you, lads.
There you go.
Coming on to me
Thank you
show.
for having us. We enjoy doing it.
And I hope to have you back again.
Certainly.
Certainly.
Just let us know.
Okay. This is Patty Hunter, Patty's Page. I'd like to say, see you next week and ciao. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my